Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. And welcome to another HoGaLe's session. As you can see over here, we can see Lady G with a wonderful kind of a rouge lipstick here, which is very fetching on you, I must say. It looks wonderful. And down under, oh, thank you. No problem. And down under, we have Lena, of course, Dr. Lena joining us live in Australia. And remember, for her, it's Sunday morning, folks. So it's always a blessing.
Early.
Oh, indeed, to have her on. And particularly as we know that she has this rather wild and hedonistic lifestyle. And when you out raving last night, what is it? Last time it was... what is it? Romanian polka mixed with something else, and wasn't it DJs and reggaeton mixed?
No, well, last night was West African funk. Okay,
there you go.
Which is sensational. And the night before, because we're saying a 3-day goodbye to our favorite little live world music venue. The night before were the Latinos and the Italians going off. It's been epic.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
One more night. I've got to
one more night. You see, folks, there's never one night, it's never one night for Lena.
One more night.
She's pardon me. She's told us that her sister likes to party, and apparently Lena is the quiet one in the family. Can you believe it? I mean,
it's a true story.
So before we begin, please indulge me, folks, with a little plug for my friend Sophie Bartrip. Now we went to Camberwell College of Art together, so most of you will know I went to art school and stuff like that. And she basically created a set of tea towels. But stay with me, a set of tea towels that went viral. They went viral. Now, one of them, the first set of tea towels, let's just see, can you recognize who this person might be on the tea towels?
Oh, it looks like a cross.
Right, yeah, it's the Queen. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, I was going to say it's a cross between Lady Di and Thatcher.
Well,
so if you do that, it ends up with the Queen.
Right. Here, she's recently, who's that?
Oh, there we go. There's
That's gotta be Diana. And recently, who's this?
Oh, you've got me on that one.
Kate, is it?
Can you tell? Kate Middleton. I like the tumbleweed. I like the tumbleweed going across your faces. Anyway, I know she's done little cards as well. So if anyone is interested, she's very, very talented person, and we've been friends literally since college days. So oh god, this is like it's got to be knocking around 20 odd years now. And if anyone is interested, then the link to her Etsy page is in the video description below. People adore her stuff. And I just saw it and I just thought, oh, it's so cute. So I just thought I'd give her a little shout out. Right. Ladies, are we ready to start the show?
Absolutely.
Oh, brilliant. Let's go for it. So everyone is piling in. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. At the moment, we've got 749 of you right now. So it's all filling up. So that's really, really nice. All right. So let's start. Well, let's jump in our esoteric airplane and let's go to France. Yeah, let's discuss France. 2 people asked about France. And what I want to say is, irrespective of what's politically going on in your own country, just bear in mind we're having huge earthquakes here in the political earthquakes in the UK, and France is up there. I mean, up there. All right, so this is coming from Manuela Orchid and Mary Huddleston. So I'm going to read them both, but it's both about France. So she says, hi, Hogie and ladies, lovely evening / morning to you. My question would be if the election in France really goes to the far right. So she's asking if it's really going to happen. Hope not. Much love, Manuela. Nice, short and concise question. So Take heed, folks. That was good. Then Mary Huddleston has asked, can you pull cards about the election in France? Will the right-wing extremists gain power? From an astrology perspective, Hogarth, can you comment on the start of voting during the Saturn/Neptune station retrograde? So I won't go into too much astrology. That's better for a Thursday fry-up. So how about that, ladies? We'll just read. Will the far right come in? I think I already know the answer, but let's see what the cards have to say.
Okay. Oh, I'm so nervous about France. I think it was a boo-boo of Macron to have a dummy spit and just go, that's it, we'll go to an election. Yeah.
Yeah. Very petulant of him, I'd say. Petulant. Yeah. Well, he's always seen himself as a little bit of a, you know, polished version of Napoleon Bonaparte, if you ask me, to be honest. Right. If you actually look at his photographs and, you know, the way he poses himself, but anyway, never mind.
But I love the fact he ran off with his teacher who was 25 years older or something and got married. It's so French. No one batted an eyelid about that, you know.
Well, the wife did get a little bit of stick, and apparently the family said to her, "You need to leave our son alone." And she's like, "But what can I do? I love him."
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like,
who's ready to go first?
I've got to think about these. What about you, Lady G?
Yeah, I can go. Well, in the center of it, we have an agreement by people with the foundation of kind of walking away and trying to juggle things, you know, distancing. What we have going on now is trying to hold on and wanting some justice. But we have on one side of it, we have the message, and the other side of it being a bit, you know, conflicted and, you know, hemmed in by the ideology.
Interesting. So, Lena, what cards do you have?
Well, I think behind the scenes with this Hermit card and the Two of Cups, this is deals being made behind the scenes. I think by Macron and like the centre and the old centre left saying, we're in trouble, we're in real trouble. Yeah, it's going to do the thing. Then money comes into the picture. I'll come back to that in a moment. The Strength card, I think it will hold. I think it'll come close, and they might have to do a coalition with that Two of Cups. But I don't think the right's going to win outright. There's a celebration here, which I take to be relief on some level. But coming back to the money card, I pulled a clarifier. Who's getting the money? Who's getting the bigger donations? And I think that might be the right. And this is the Italian card of disgrace. I think it's going to be exposed where the money's coming from.
Ooh. Interesting. And let's see here. All right. So the cards I've got, these are quite interesting. I think it really tells a story, particularly kind of echoing like what you were saying, Lena, in terms of like money and funding and stuff like that, because look who shows up first in the deck, which can indicate what the reading is all about. Now, we know this lady very well. The Empress has showed up. Now, as you know, folks, normally if we're dealing with normal people and all of this kind of stuff, having the Empress show up in the deck is wonderful, but we know when it comes to politics, this is often my card for Russia, isn't it? But you remember what I always say, what is underneath the Empress's skirts? Maybe she's sitting on a bit of Mein Kampf. Who knows? Yeah. So this immediately says to me, there might be an influence, a background influence, potentially with Russia here, especially in regards to funding and all that stuff. When we think of Cambridge Analytica, all of the ads that went out on Facebook, etc., that hand has always been there. And the fact she's turned up at front, and there she is. All right. If we look here, we got the King of Wands, but he's turning up in the obstacle position. Now, the King of Wands are all about passion. They're all about dynamism. Very often, I see them as entrepreneurial. So, of course, the King of Wands can be a highly entrepreneurial man or person, but it's turning up in the obstacle position. And they say when the King of Wands is in the obstacle position, this can deal literally a lot with aggression, petulance, pettiness, and not really being a good leader. I have a feeling this might be Macron. Yeah. I feel like he's just rolled the dice and it's just been like, I'm done with it. Yeah, because he didn't do well in the European elections. And instead of maybe reflecting, instead he's kind of opened up the floodgates, you know, for a horse and coaches to go through. If we look here, we have got the Six of Swords, which is about moving to smoother waters. Could this be Macron? Yeah, maybe wanting to move to smoother waters. I just have the feeling like what he did, it was so obvious that it would give the far right a leg up. Yeah, so maybe he checked out.
Yes,
maybe on a certain level.
It's crossed my mind too.
Yeah, because why would you do that? It was so obvious. Here, though, we have the Two of Wands, which of course is all about making plans, etc., and stuff like that. And you can see here is the globe here. Now, one of the reasons why this is also getting people into a flap is because people are worried about the effect it's going to have on the European economy if the far right comes in. Now, obviously, Marine, even though it won't be her, she's going to be making cooing and soothing noises to try and calm everyone down. But I think this is literally her and her young protege, Jordan Bardella, making their plans, but also as well looking at their colleagues abroad, as it were. I'm sure Meloni is probably on the telephone. Yeah, that's the Italian prime minister, who's what's she head of? Brothers of the Rising Dawn or something like that. And just in case we weren't sure, look at this. I got the same card as Lena here as well. And look, the Two of Cups, which is about making plans, making, marriage, cordiality, organization, coming together. So look, what I'm going to say is going to be very controversial, but I remember when I read on Macron and Le Pen years ago when they had their election, and I think they're actually more cordial with each other than people realize. I think so. I don't know. I just feel like he's kind of, I'm not sure if the risk is going to pay off. I think he's done a Rishi Sunak, and I think it's going to blow up in his face.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anything to add to that, ladies?
No.
All right, let's move on then to the next question. And I'll do some shout outs when we've got 1,114 of you with us right now. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. We really appreciate it. And happy Sunday if you're seeing us on Sunday. So let's read out some comments. Oh, someone's here says, not much of a monarchy fan, sorry. Well, not everyone is, nor is Lena, but I still got the tea towels out. Yeah. Let's see here. Some of the starred. Oh, now look, this might be a good next one, actually. So Juliet T says, Canada question, will the Conservatives win, or will Justin Trudeau step aside? Or will Justin Trudeau stay but lose his majority? How about that? Shall we check on that?
Let's just look at the energy of Canada.
Yeah, let's look at Canada.
So what exactly are we reading on? Because you have basically two different questions.
Yeah, you're right. Let's just see. How will the Conservatives do in the Canadian elections? Yeah.
Okay.
And can Canadian viewers let us know? I heard Alberta just had an election. I'm not sure how the levels work, which had a very good result for a gay man of South Asian descent from Tanzania winning something major in Alberta, which has been very conservative until now, with a huge majority.
Wow.
It's a bit of good news in it all. Okay, will the Conservatives win the National? Oh.
Oh, interesting. Who's ready to go first?
I can if you like.
Go for it.
Okay. Not immediately happy cards, I have to say. So this is my card for Conservatives pretending to be happy family values people. They always promise life in the rearview mirror. Remember when it was great, you know? So God knows when that was, you know. Here we go. Then here comes the famous stinky fish. I'm not sure that message is going to resonate, because I think as it gets closer, and it's already very close, this election, people will start to wobble. I think they were starting to get sucked in with this message, then start to think, oh, we've got to be really careful. Maybe we have to fight with their swords to keep the liberty, yes, and the birds being social media and stuff. And I think people are going to knuckle down and actually it won't be clear cut like that. So I didn't get anything specifically on where Justin Trudeau fits into the picture. So I'll just add myself. How many decades has Canada had a Trudeau? As long as I've been alive, there's been a Trudeau in Canada.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think it'll come close. People are worried. It'll come close, but I've just got to get another coffee, guys.
Go for it. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, at the center of it, we're looking at the strength of what's going to take place with them. There is a lot of arguments going on with it and trying to hold on. But what we have with those friends, and I think these are the kind of innocence, kind of looking at it, where it's going, what's crossing it is it's very slow moving, and there is the fly in the ointment. So it doesn't look like it's going to go really well for them in the end. Something's going to come out.
So something might come out that you say that might derail the Conservatives. Their
long-term view. It's not moving very quickly, and there's something that's going to come up with it.
Interesting. All right. Well, the cards I've got, again, quite interesting cards here. So of course the question was, will the what was it I've got right here? Will the Conservatives win? Will the Conservatives win? Yeah. So that's the context of this. So if we look here, look, they're certainly going to give it a good go. Look, they've got the Ace of Wands. Now this is known as a yes card. It is known as a yes card. And they certainly want fertile new beginnings and stuff like that. And what I will, of course, add, what I've been saying ad nauseum forever, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but it's always worth it for the newbies. Pluto is in Capricorn. Yeah. Government.
Not Aquarius.
Not Aquarius. Capricorn is a conservative sign. This is why everything is moving to the right in general. It won't be completely uniform. Of course, you'll have more of the radical elements come through. But anyway, so look, they're going to give it a good go with their new plans. However, look what's turned up in the obstacle position, the Justice. So there might be some legal hurdle.
Yes.
There might be something that comes in and trips them up. I don't know what it would be, but of course I just have to say what I see. You know, maybe Trudeau, because, you know, like Lena says, there's been a Trudeau in the upper echelons of Canadian politics for ages, so they know where a few dead bodies are buried. So if I were Trudeau, I would certainly in the background be digging up a few corpses just to drop and dangle in front of the electorate at the last minute.
Yeah. Find the stinky fish on the Conservatives.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you know, line a few things up. That's how I potentially be seeing this. We've got the Ace of Cups here, which obviously normally talks about emotions overflowing and stuff like that. But this is two aces, yeah. So it's like, so certainly there, yeah, exactly. So the Conservatives are certainly going to appeal to people's emotions, yeah. Emotion is more powerful than logic. Yeah, it just is. So there's certainly going to be, and this also can show the emotional intensity of the situation as well. If we look here, though, we have got the we've got the Page of Swords. Now, this is sometimes known as the spy in the camp. Exactly. Yeah, and we got the same there. So I think this is Trudeau and his team that are going to have to come in and somehow try and puncture, cut through these, the nostalgia and the emotions of it all. Do you know what I mean? This has to be, and you know, Trudeau is, you know, pretty young still and blah, blah, blah. But that's the sense that I get when I read into it. And then here we get the Ten of Pentacles, which obviously talks about, you know, the establishment and stuff. But this also talks about legacies. The Ten of Pentacles is the only card that has all three generations of the family on one card. You've got the grandfather, you've got the son and the daughter, and then you've got the kids playing and the dogs. So this must be the Trudeaus, yeah?
Yeah.
Because it has been a dynasty, hasn't it? So my take on that is, just going back over, the right side of politics is really going to give it a good going, hammer and tongs, but there may be a legal obstacle that gets in the way. They're going to try hard to play to people's emotions. Trudeau is going to come in there, maybe kind of try and slash their tires a bit with that sword and maintain the family legacy. So, anything to add to that, ladies?
Nope.
All right. Brilliant. So there's that one there. All right. Now obviously, guys, there are going to be questions which I'm saving towards the end about the debates. Yeah, about the debates.
The D word.
Hold your horses. Hold your horses, because we will get in there.
We have one that I wanted to ask, and then we've had a few people that have commented as well, that Putin's plane was right next to Trump at Dulles Airport, and then they went on to Washington, the Putin's plane.
Shall we look?
You read my mind, because that was going to be the next one. So let's go for it. So let's see here. And this is coming from Nick Minks. And she says, Trump's plane was spotted in Dulles Airport. I don't know where Dulles Airport is. I thought she was. Sorry?
Isn't it pronounced Jules?
Oh, probably, yeah, because I've just read it as, because I've got no idea where this airport is, you know, but yeah, it's spelled Dulles, so I guess that's Dulles Airport, parked next to a Russian embassy plane. Yeah, what reason would there be for them being next to each other? Would there be any chance that documents or money could have been passed between them? Yeah, and then it goes on, and it went on a bit longer, but I think that gets the gist. So let's do a read on it. What was the energy, the meaning of that?
And is it still there? It's been there for a few days.
Has it? Oh, I don't know. Total cold read for me. I had no idea.
Me too. I didn't know till I saw it in the comment.
Just in case we had any doubts that there were any connections between Duck L'Orange and Russia, you know. Let's see if the Empress turns up again. That would be funny, wouldn't it? All right, what's the connection to Trump's plane and Trump's plan.
Mm.
Russia. Oh,
What have you got?
Madame showed up? Has Madame showed up?
No, Madame has not showed up, but some interesting cards have.
Oh, oh bloody hell! Look at do
Do you want to go, Lady G?
Sure,
Go
I'll
for it.
go. So what we have at the center, what this is revolving around, is the abuse of power. Oh, what a shocking thing to show up, isn't it?
Mhm.
So what we have above it is trying to figure out the next move. Where are we going? What are we doing? You know, and how to get away with things. Yet again. Oh, what a shocker. That this is a hard, difficult time when it comes and how to communicate more with the public. And what's crossing it is all the stuff that's up in the air, and that's key. So a little pep talk on how they're going to aid him, and you know what to do, what not to do.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow! Gosh, Lena, what do you have?
I decided to use the Italian little oracles. And every time I do, I think, why don't I use these cards all the time? But I forget about them. You know how it is. Anyway, what is this about, the two planes? Well, it'd be about money, dinero here, theft, thief getting out of the window. Isn't it ridiculous? Now, this is the card of the enemy and fidelity. So they're testing each other's fidelity. What can I do for you? What can you do for me? Right? Then morte, death, and the consolation prize, which I take to mean that if Trump loses, you could always come to Moscow, pet. Or if you lose, we'll keep some money offshore in Cyprus or Panama or something for you.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the cards couldn't be any clearer. That is just like, oh my goodness. Well, there you are, folks. But you know, here's my 6 pence worth. But as if I hardly even have to read my cards anyway after those two stunners that Lady G and Lena have pulled out. But here we go. Just in case we weren't sure this might be a sketchy situation, we've got the Tower. So obviously, Duck Larange is making emergency and contingency plans, yeah, just in case it doesn't work out. Just in case it doesn't work out. Here's the crown coming off, and this, that, and the other. So I think it's disaster management for both scenarios. If he loses, and maybe, oh my God, if he wins, do you know what I mean? But anyway, either way, it's something extreme. They're trying to cover, I think, both ends of the spectrum. But just in case we weren't sure, look who turns up. The Lovers. The Lovers, which we know is, you know, about partnerships and stuff. Oh, I've got, of course, cover the naughty bits for the algorithm. But you remember with this card, the Lovers as well, for me, isn't just only about making decisions, which it clearly is. It's also about imports, exports, trade, contracts. You know, so isn't that interesting when we're asking what is it about? Yeah. Trade, contracts, partnerships, partnership, quite literally. Duck Larange, though, may not be liking what's on the table because he's like, well, you know, I need to have golf. Can you play golf in Moscow? You know, he's probably thinking, oh, it's a bit of a cold place, this, that, and the other. And also as well, we need to understand that Putinshka himself may not necessarily be liking the options either, because imagine if he were to harbor Duck Larange. I mean, he's already a pariah, but I mean, do you know what I mean? That could be very consequential. So I don't think Trump necessarily wants to leave in exile. And it could be the case that maybe even Putin doesn't want Trump so much either. But they're both in a tricky scenario, it would seem. If we look here, we've got the Knight of Wands rearing up. So the situation, of course, is speeding up. You know, the election, of course, is coming closer. And then, just in case we weren't sure, things get faster still. But look at this. We've got the 8 of Wands. And this is also a card that is associated with flying. Flying. Yeah, because look, you can see the rods are coming through the air. It's 2 planes together. So maybe there is a contingency for, you know, as you've heard me say before, Venus is in his 12th house. The 12th house is the land of far, far away. And I've, as you know, I've been saying for years, I said, if it really comes to sticky wickets, I see Trump jumping on a plane and getting out of there. So maybe it's a case of he jumps on a Russian plane and he can leave the Secret Service behind because he's on Russian property, particularly if it's an embassy plane. And he does a kind of like, you know, he does the exile kind of thing. Who knows? But they're making plans, definitely.
And hi, Libby, Maester's Tarot. She makes a good point. And what was the duck L'Orange trading? Meaning, you know, who knows that Jack Smith's got all the documents or not? He could have another truckload.
Oh, I mean, absolutely, because clearly one of the things that they don't have, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but clearly one of the things that they don't have at these top secret facilities is a librarian and a barcode. Yeah,
with some index cards. Go back to index cards.
You scan the document in, you scan it out.
I know, it's mind-bending.
It's astonishing. It's astonishing. But here we are. We've got Rose Blue who's given us a donation. Thank you so much. Oh, actually, and Rose Blue said electronic transfers ? So maybe, yeah. And Kathy N has also given us a donation as well. Thank you.
Yeah, I think there's also a Dulles up in Washington State as well, a Dulles area.
Thank you.
And Kate Walter says Lady D is looking marvelous today.
And she is. Look, she's looking totally radiant.
Oh, I think it's the new camera. I have a new camera today that doesn't make me look like I'm in a fog.
Well, it's either way,
computer, or it's just another camera.
Indeed, indeed.
Is it a new independent camera or is it a new computer? Oh,
no, a new independent camera.
Wow, it looks amazing. Now you mention it, I can see every door.
Yeah, really clear.
Wow.
Yeah, really clear. Really, really good. All right, so let's move on to the next question. And this let's see. We do have time. Let's see. You know what? We've not spoken so much about here. Look, this question's come in, and it's coming from Maria Serrara Hyro. So I think that's a new one. And this is a really simple one. She's written here, when will the world begin to sanction Israel for its war crimes like they have Russia and end the hypocrisy? Ooh, what do you think about that?
A one card?
Yeah, let's do a one card pull. Let's do a one card pull. Because what's actually happened? Does anyone know what's happened with the International Criminal Court? Because they've charged Hamas and, of course, Netanyahu with war crimes. Well, not charged with, but they say they want him on war crimes. But where has that gone? It seems to have gone quiet.
Well, as far as I'm aware, Israel doesn't recognize the International Court.
Wow. Oh, goodness.
So
all right, wow. All right. Let's have a look. Oh, the doggies are getting stuck in. Let's do a one
Will
card.
there be sanctions? Is that the question?
Yeah, I think so. Will there be sanctions? That makes it more concise, doesn't it? Will there be sanctions? One card pull. All right. Are we ready? All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
What? Oh, 6 of Pentacles.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Go on, Lena.
This is my card of compromise. So I take it to mean there'll be conversations, but it won't go ahead, I don't think. This is sort of a middle of the road card. This isn't decisive for me. Decisive. What did you guys get?
Well, I think that this one is, you know, who's holding on to the information and the power. And I think it just, like you said, we'll have to see who is doing these next things, because he's got what? The new action. So we'll have to see what they're holding on to. Who's in control of it.
Mm.
Indeed.
Yours is more direct.
Yeah, here. I mean, look, I've got the Ace of Wands come back here, and that's normally a yes card, fertile new beginning and stuff like that. But this can also be the literally beating with a stick. So it would suggest to me maybe at some time in the future, maybe there might be some sanctions. But it also is dependent on the other cards as well. So it's like, I don't think this is going to happen overnight. I think it's a toss up between or combination of Lady G's cards and Lena's. So someone certainly wants to do something about it, but it depends on that. What's that? Is that the King of Pentacles there, Lady G?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And just further thoughts on this compromise card too. I think this is conversations behind closed doors of individual countries, probably 6 countries, maybe more, with the 6 going, well, we're not going to sell you this or buy you that. In other words, informal sanctions.
Yeah. Maybe a bit of tinkering around the sides, All right. Are we ready for the next question?
Yes.
All right. So this one, let's start getting into the whole debates territory. So this one is this one. I'm not sure if it's a valid question, and I think I've already got the answer, but I'm going to read it out and give my answer, but you see if the two of you agree. So Mary Huddleston asked, did CNN deliberately sabotage Joe Biden's microphone / audio to make his voice sound weak? Now, my answer to that is no. Yeah. But ladies, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that? I don't think they did that, to be honest, but what are your thoughts?
Lady G?
Yeah, no, I don't think they did anything with this microphone. He was getting over a cold, and you could hear he was struggling with that, you know.
Yeah.
And we know, as people who work with microphones too, just turning it up wouldn't have saved that. You know, like his voice was so fragile. So if I'm talking like this, you can turn me up a little bit, but you know. Yeah.
They didn't tamper. I watched the whole debate. I watched it all for 1 hour and a half. Yeah, no, I watched a lot, and it wasn't the mic. So I just wanted to kind of, you know, let's just say what we saw. Yeah. Anyway, so Fizzlers asks, now they've given quite a long answer here, but we've got time, and then the question comes right at the end. But I think this will represent some of the sentiment that people feel. So Fizzlers says, was the debate a pivotal moment? Was the debate a pivotal moment in a way that nobody expected? I did read on this. I did say it was going to be strange, yeah. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. I think I've made that argument already. And she goes on to say, it was heartbreaking to see, and yet in the aftermath, the outpouring of love and support for Biden / democracy is so beautiful. I cried watching his rally in, she puts NC, North Carolina, so I have to work it out. Biden spent 4 years lifting the American people up and protecting them. And in his moment of need, they had his back. You could see him channeling their love and strength. And he was on fire, she says. I think he certainly looked a lot more spirited. Yeah, a good bounce back. A good man is surrounded by good people with a common goal. And she says, as an Irish person This is the America I remembered growing up. And the question is, will this shift gain momentum? Love you, three beauties, she says. So Biden basically kind of resurrecting himself. Will this change gain momentum?
Okay. I think it was a case of who got the best pharmaceuticals. All jokes aside about, no, seriously, I think Trump's team got the balance just right. He wasn't too manic and frothy and I think Biden did have a cold. You can get medication, you know, to help your voice and everything else with the cold. I think one team was better than the other in terms of their candidate going out there on the night.
Yeah.
And here we go. So is this, sorry, the question is
so basically with Biden coming back with this more kind of rousing speech, will it, right. so will this shift in tone and essentially gain momentum, is the damage fully done?
Going to wither on the vine. Okay. Oh, that's a great point. Lorraine Mack says, I think the Yeti Russian plane love fest was an intimidation tactic in our faces. Oh, I think you might be onto something, Lorraine.
And one thing I just want to add before we start, I mean, if I were on the medical team, and yeah, like I think basically I would have had Duck L'Orange on a sedative, and probably Biden a quick line of something before, you know, before it started. Yeah, just to balance it out. Who's ready to go? I've got interesting cards here. Who's ready to go?
Well, I can. And these are fabulous cards for Biden.
Ooh.
Trust me, I wasn't expecting that, but one has to look at this. So I'm reporting here. 1, 2, 2 out of 5 cards, 2 major arcana and other big stuff. It starts with the Strength card, and it's also got the Lovers card. So here I go for you, Hogie. But I think that's the strength of love for Biden that has emerged. Right? I think he needs more rests. All jokes aside, they have to pace him better, have more people speaking. So if anything happens, people are more used to seeing other high-level Dems speaking. Give him enough rest. They've got to come up with a strategy that is going to result in a successful vote. But I think those first 2 cards are very strong for him. I must say, I'm a bit surprised in a good way.
Lady G, what do you have?
Well, what we have at the center was an abuse that took place when it came to Trump. Just, you know, wouldn't answer questions, would go after Biden. Biden didn't get a chance to answer any of it when Trump was saying all the nonsense he was. Now, the good thing at the end of it was the independents actually came out stronger for Biden because they saw the abuses that Trump was doing, the whole thing. So what we had here was the burden of some of the hidden things that were taking place. But what we have is that strength wanting to protect and the fireworks that are coming out of that. So I think Biden is coming out really strong with it. And what is crossing it is the jungle of the justice. So I would say karma is going to hit back. Where Trump thought he was just going to railroad him and do everything, people saw through it, and they were saying they'd rather go for Biden.
Fascinating. And before I read my cards, I just want to say a big thanks to Julianne Jones for your very kind donation. She says, hello, terrific trio. have to say, Lena has the life of my vision boards. All right. Thanks, Lena, for the inspiration and example. Happy travel. And she's put here dollars in DC, just to clarify there. So there you are, Lena. You are the vision. You're living the life of people's vision boards.
It's an aging Sagittarian. I'm running against the clock. You know, that's how I look at it.
It's okay. You're out there partying and I'm up in the woods by myself.
Doing deep meditative work, bless.
Well, one day we'll party together. This will happen, folks.
Yeah,
we will all meet together and we'll have cocktails and stuff like that. So, okay, so I'm going to read my cards. And as usual, yeah, you know, I get the complex.
Yes.
It's stuff.
You get the burnt chop, as we used to say.
Yes, yeah, I get that. Yeah, exactly. I've got the burnt chop here, definitely. So look, this is quite complicated. This is quite complicated. So the question was, will this momentum continue, you know, in terms of the positive speech and stuff like that? Now look at the first card that comes out. Yeah, here, look, we've got the 7 of Swords. Now, usually, of course, this means trying to get away with something, etc., and stuff like that. But I also have an extra spin on this card, which is it also can do with cunning as well.
Yes.
Having to apply cunning. Now, look, what I will say and what I will caution, and I've actually listened to. There's this podcast I was watching which was all Democrats responding to it, and one of the things that they took grievance with, they said, look, let's not pretend that what we saw didn't happen. Yeah, because there are some in the media that I think are trying to kind of dress this up as, and look, it just wasn't a great performance. It just wasn't. Yeah, and we can say that, and that's fine. It's not anti-democratic to say so, but we also have to be mature. And even Biden himself admitted afterwards, you know, he said, look, I'm not quite what I was. So I think this is talking about some of those that, you know, maybe also as well trying to paint things maybe rosier than they are. Let's just be honest of where it is. And not everyone would have seen his North Carolina speech as well. Yeah, so we do have to be realistic. However, if we look here, we have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, the Knight of Cups, which is about, you know, messaging and stuff like that. Messages, seduction, all of this stuff. But guess what? It's turned up in the obstacle position. Ooh, yeah, we all know that the messaging just didn't quite work. Yeah, we can sort of see it a bit more like this. Yeah, so there's that. However, the next card is the Knight of Pentacles, and this is what the steadfast and steady knight. What Biden has to do is keep putting one foot in front of the other. He's got to try and stay the course and steady the ship. So he just has to do consistently strong, energetic performances. Now, look, we're not expecting for Biden to, you know, jump through a brick wall and tear off his T-shirt and start doing pirouettes and backflips and stuff like that. But he does need to prove that he can stay the course, yeah, that he can be stable. That's what shook people. He just looked vulnerable and frail, yeah?
Yeah.
If we look here, though, I do have a reversal that's turned up, yeah? And all these cards were all the right way up before. So look, it's turned up upside down. Now, this card, of course, is talking about when it's the right way up. The Hierophant is talking about establishment, established norms, authority, etc. The usual way of doing things, that kind of stuff. But look, this is turned up upside down. This, in many ways, is symbolic of the debate. People's expectations and stuff, the establishment was kind of turned upside down. It was this unexpected thing. And my outcome card, look, I can't sugarcoat it. Look, it's the Three of Swords. So what I would say is this. No one's mind, in terms of who they were voting for, will be fundamentally changed. Those that are going to vote for Duck L'Orange are going to vote for Duck L'Orange. Those that are going to vote for Biden are going to vote for Biden. This was more about the undecideds, the floaters. And what my cards are saying is, and they said apparently most people started to switch off after 15 minutes. Yeah, not everyone sat for the full 1 hour and a half. And that's a problem. Yeah, because that's burned into a lot of people's brains. So I think in terms of the undecideds, that may have damaged Biden a bit. However, there is a bit of time. There is a bit of time. So, but he's going to have to be stellar. I'd be like, get the whatever drugs he needs, just pump him full of whatever to kind of get him over the line. But what are your thoughts on that, ladies? More quite complex cards there.
Yeah, it's well, the conference, the Democratic conference is still 5 weeks away. That's going to be much more juicy now too.
Yeah, I was very disappointed when the Democratic operatives and things were saying, oh, we need to get rid of Biden. We need to get rid of him right away, throwing him under the bus.
Do you know what? Let's ask the question, because this is so pivotal and it is so important. Let's ask the question. Will the Democratic Party keep Biden? I think we should. I think we have to ask, don't we? We have to. Let's go there. And I wanted to leave a bit of time at the end of the show for this. Let's ask.
Yeah.
Will the Democrats keep Biden, or are the daggers out? Now, if any of us get the 10 of Swords, or you know, stuff like that, or the Knight of Swords, or we'll have to see, or the Tower, or the Death card, then that might be a problem. Democratic Party keep Biden. We also have to.
That's interesting.
Oh, you got something interesting going on, Lena? Let's have a look. Oh, okay. I've got interesting cards as well. Who's ready to go?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised about this. I get that. Look, this impacts on the whole world, right? We, the rest of the world, Hogarth and I speak routinely for the rest of the world, watching this very closely indeed. Here's the female. For me, Biden is the King of Cups. This is the Queen of Cups. This, to me, is Jill Biden. I think this whole decision rests on Jill Biden, because if he's going to pull out and think she's involved with that decision, if he's staying in the race and going forward, she is part of that decision. I think Jill Biden is going to decide this, but he does get pulling people on side with this Two of Cups. He does need more naps. This keeps
again.
Seriously, all jokes aside. But then I've got a victory card here.
Interesting. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, at the center, what it's revolving around is this message of the strength that he's got. There are those that are not taking in anything new. And there you go. And they're starting to move. Now, come on.
Incredible.
So when it comes to, I think he is the one that can fight Trump. This is my card for Trump. So he is the one that can still go against Trump. And so I think that's what the challenge is, the people coming together, cutting that through that. So I'm thinking that they see that he is the worthy opponent against Trump. So we'll have to see.
Very interesting. And before I read my cards, I just want to say a thank you to Rose Blue. 45 was a fire horse. And there we are. Oops.
Yeah.
I won't repeat what they said on that one.
Yes, that's
right. Is AM Adderall was Trump on Adderall? What is Adderall? Is that a stimulant of some kind?
Yes, exactly. And it's been his drug of choice for 35 or 40 years. So, because he was very lucid, all his lies just flowed without a moment's hesitation.
Oh yeah, God,
and that's what I mean about the team got his right and Biden's right.
Yeah, positively lyrical. And just so you know, we have got 1,765 of you with us right now. That is so wonderful, cool. Guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Also, as well, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well. If you'd like to subscribe to Lady G and Lena. Oh, Lena, have you got your hand up? Please.
We haven't had the bard.
Yes. The bard on who? All right, maybe the bard on who though?
Who? Can you guys? Sorry to interrupt, but I just thought we can't go without the bard.
You're right. We'll see. We'll squeeze something in. So I'll quickly read my cards and then we'll pick the bard for someone. So happy Sunday as well to everyone who is joining us on a Sunday. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Also as well, if you want to join me in Santa Fe, still 1 or 2 places, but if you want to join me in Costa Rica, yeah, you can. That is in January. That's in the video description. Walking with jaguars and cacao and all this kind of stuff. All right, I'll read my cards. So what will we read on again? What is it?
Will they keep Biden? Yeah.
Will they keep Biden? All right, here we go. Now, I got the Hermit card as my outcome card when I was reading on the debates last time. So look, now they've gone into deep reflection. The Hermit, yeah. This is the obviously ringing of the pearls and, you know, all of this kind of stuff. And they're really thinking like, oh, gosh, what are we going to do? The Hermit is about going within, also feeling isolated as well, but also coming up with new plans, reflecting, studying. Yeah. If we look here, what are they meditating on? Look, potentially, you know, new plans as well. This is the 3 of Wands, which also associate with entrepreneurship, but this is also waiting for the ship to come in, but it's turned up in the obstacle position. So I think there are those in the Democratic Party that are not sure if the ship is going to come in. Yeah, the win. Yeah. However, if we look in the middle, we do have the victory card. So I really do feel this. Yes, I think the Jill Biden factor is definitely there, but Biden needs to prove now beyond doubt that he is a winner. There can't be any more flat performances, shall we say, after this. It will just be fatal, absolutely fatal. And, you know, if you're not beating a convicted felon, and you're supposed to talk about abortion, which was going to be the main humdinger, and you end up talking about the border and all of this kind of stuff and getting sucked in there. It has to be laser focused. Less is more if he wants the win. If they want the win. But even then, I think coming up into the convention, look at that, we've got the 2 of Swords. People have their doubts. I think a lot of people do have their doubts. So he is going to have to work. I think this is more about him trying to win over his own party now with this victory card coming next to the 2 of Swords. Yeah. You see what I mean? Yeah. Because if it was the victory with a very positive card, then you could say, oh, he's going to win. But I think this is about him winning over the Democratic Party. But however, look, though, on the outcome card, we do have the 10 of Cups, which is known as the happy family, etc., and stuff like that. So it could be maybe the Dems will rally round. Maybe they will rally round like Biden, like a family, to help him out. However, it has to be genuine, because very often, I mean, when we're reading on the GOP, we get this card, isn't it? We get it as the fake family. I'm not saying that's necessarily true for the Dems, but they really are going to have to rally around, give him sleep, I mean, look, if I were his advisor, I'd be giving him a line of something before he went on the stage, to be honest, you know. But anyway, so there's that.
It's unfair. It's just like the Olympics with steroids or no steroids. There's no doubt the Yeti is getting a little help from his friends, you know.
Absolutely. You know, it's just kind of like, yeah, why be the, you know, the sober one in the room? Why be the clean one in the room when it's that high stakes? And, you know, I think this is what that reflection is as well, the soul searching, you know, the hermit. But he cannot afford another performance like that. For some, it's probably already fatal. But if he can lionize and get his energy up, speaking well, and just convince people of the arguments, because look, if Trump wins, it's Gilead. Yeah, it's just over. That's it. It's over.
Yeah. No wriggle room after that.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be decided by Venus, by the way. I think Venus may decide the election. Who shall we read on for the Bard?
Well, Bannon goes to jail tomorrow, but maybe we read on him.
We did. We did. Let's just see here. Some people saying.
What about who was on the tarmac with Trump?
Oh, yeah, but do we know who the person is? 1 minute. And one person's written here saying, Trini's saying, Trump is not going to win. Stop saying if. Listen, what did I say? I said, nothing's nailed on, guys. When you say things are nailed on, it creates complacency. We have to be real here. We have to be real. That performance, you know, be honest. We need to be honest. We need to be honest. So I understand it, but it's not nailed on, guys. It's actually a lot closer than people think. I hope he doesn't win. But we can't say, oh, he's not going to win. Like, come on, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic here. Anyway, just had to say that. I just don't, it just feels a little bit childish. You know?
Hey.
Yeah, see, the dogs agree. All right, let's see. I can't see who to read on. We could do it. Let's read on the plane. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, whoever was on that plane.
Yeah, let's see what the Bard has to say about the plane.
And then before we leave, I have a little something lighter just before we take off.
Perfect.
The debate.
Perfect. All right, so let's just go here. So I think it's your turn, Lady G, to ask me where to stop. So this is what the Bard thinks about who was on the planes. Yeah.
The Russian plane.
So you tell me where to stop and we'll get the Bard.
Stop.
All right. Oh, this is really interesting. Look, this is what the Bard is saying about the planes. My tongue will tell the anger of my heart. Yeah. And that's from the Taming of the Shrew. And then on the next one, which is from Henry IV, part 1, says, a fellow of no mark nor likelihood. Quite interesting.
No consequence in a way. Interesting.
It's kind of, it's very under, it wasn't his usual.
Whoosh. Yeah, and that's kind of creepier.
Yeah.
It's creepy. Yeah. That's what I'm feeling. Like, look, my tongue will tell the anger of my heart. So we understand that there is an element there of frustration, rage, anger, with Duck L'Orange at the situation that he's in. But then a fellow of no mark nor likelihood. So it's almost like some under background character or characters that we're not aware of, just in the background. Oh, I think that is a bit creepy, actually. Got the shivers on that. Lady G, you're going to finish us off with something a bit lighter.
Yes, in the debate, now we had Trump that was bragging about winning the golf tournament. You have to be really smart to win them and excellent physical health. And Biden, you know, he said Biden couldn't hit the ball for 50 yards. And Biden said, well, I'll go ahead and play you golf, but you have to carry your own clubs. Okay? But the thing I wanted to say, Biden should challenge him to go on a bike ride with him. Biden does bikes all the time. Can you imagine Trump on a bicycle?
Well, yes. And I think what Joe should bring up in subsequent things is, or someone should ask Trump, when was the last time you went to church?
There you go.
Oh,
right? Because he's got this
oh,
huge evangelical following. He wouldn't have been to church for 40 years, if ever. And Biden goes to mass every time. So I think that was a missed moment too, you know,
Yeah.
like
I think so.
just put him on the spot for that. He would then waffle, but
yeah.
one of those that would bounce around the walls of the room.
Well, you know what? If I were Biden, actually, in that vein, I would have just whipped out my, you know, rosary Bible and just held it up, held it in front of Trump and said, "Which way is the right way up for this
That's
Bible?"
right.
And that would have just stumped him. You just, you know, because he obviously doesn't know which way up.
Yes,
Oh well, these things. Well, can you believe it? The time has gone in an absolute flash. We've run over a little bit. I hope you guys found that interesting, and great questions that everyone had in there. And just remember as well, no complacency here. No complacency. I know it's like, honestly, people have to be alert and awake. The second you underestimate Duck Larange, you are finished. This guy has been grifting his whole life. His gift is grift. So the Dems need to be alert and on it. No more slip-ups. No more slip-ups. It's really got to be turbo boosters all the way in. And then we'll have to see. But anyway, thank you for joining us, everyone. Thank you, ladies, for a great show. Thank you too, as well, to the donations that came in. I think a few more. Let me just click them up. Blam Girl, thank you so much. And Darcy as well. Thank you so much. And of course, those are shared with the ladies. Happy Sunday to everyone who is joining us on a Sunday. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, and the women's details are in the video description below. So we will leave it there. We will see you next week. Thank you, everyone. It was over 1,700 of you joining us live in the end, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.